How do you rock the world of tennis? Burn the rulebook. Change the court. Make it faster. No, way faster. Pair up the sexes. Call in the coaches.
Way to win!
Fist bump this badass. Playing teams. And don't forget the pros. Lots of pros. This is the next evolution of tennis. This is WTT, July 2019.
From the sun-drenched beauty of the Coachella Valley, from Palm Springs to Indian Wells, and at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden, top players and new teams all looking to take their first steps on the road to the King Trophy, the World Team Tennis Draft 2019. Welcome inside, everyone. I'm Leif Shiras, alongside a former world number one, a three-time MVP of World Team Tennis. That's Mark Knowles. And Mark, you were drafted by the Sacramento Capitals, and that was the start of some good things for you and for the team.
Yeah, I was very fortunate to join a great franchise. They had won a couple titles before I came on board, and I was able to secure a couple more for them. So this is a really exciting day, draft day, and we're right here at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden, where it's been all about tennis.
All right, important steps for everyone today. Let's get it started, and let's go down to the podium. Now, Carlos Silva is the new CEO, and he is ready to go.
Hey, everybody. How you doing today? Good to see everybody. It's great to be here. Welcome to the 2019 World Team Tennis Draft here at Indian Wells. Super excited to be part of this. Before we get started, I'd just like to thank the board of the World Team Tennis for bringing me on. This is really a dream job for me. Tennis has been such a big part of my life, so I'm just so happy to be here. Our new chairman, Eric Davidson, Fred Luddy, Billie Jean King, and Mark Ein. Thanks again. We're going to have a great day today, and we're going to have a great season in 2019. A couple of new things in 2019. Really excited to announce that we've got 2 expansion franchises. We're going to move from 6 teams to 8 teams. That's going to give us the ability to have a semifinals and a finals, which is very exciting. And today we're here to announce and show you the new logos. I'd like to invite up the general managers from the Orlando Storm and the Vegas Rollers, Jocelyn Davey and Sally Dewhurst. So here we go, 2019, 2 new logos, 2 new teams, 2 new cities. Why don't we show everybody what we got? It's great. The Vegas Rollers will be playing at the Orleans. Really great new partner, great exciting arena. So that's good news. And the Orlando Storm will be playing at the USTA National Campus. Great support from Kurt Camperman and everyone down at the campus down in Orlando. So very excited. Welcome to the league. Also announced this week a new partnership with CBS Sports. It's great that we're going to be bringing World Team Tennis back to the national platform, not just on cable, but also broadcast. Excited to tell you that we're going to have 15 matches on CBS Sports Network. We're also going to have a big match on broadcast on CBS on July 21st. It's been quite a while since World Team Tennis has been on broadcast television. So here in the United States and then around the world, more people are going to be able to see all the great things that the teams do with all of our great athletes. So thank you, CBS, for supporting us. We've got a bunch of great franchise players, from John Isner to Stevie Johnson, Victoria Azarenka, Madison Keys, Sam Querrey, Nick Kyrgios, Coco Vandeweghe, and then, of course, Venus Williams, just to name a few. The season's setting up to be an exciting one with our 8 teams. We're here today to draft our rosters. Let's let the draft begin. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks very much, Carlos, and welcome to the World Team Tennis family. Obviously looking forward to his leadership over the coming future, and some exciting news there with CBS Sports getting involved, a couple of new franchises, and things are going in the right direction. Very exciting times.
It's terrific to see 2 new franchises on board, but the biggest thing for me, that relationship with CBS, allowing players that maybe aren't household names, allowing them to have a platform. So very exciting times for World Team Tennis.
That's right, and a chance to give us just a moment to take a quick look at the rules and the formats for the draft situation. Obviously, New York Empire will be selecting first, so they've got an opportunity to make some real headway. Remember, it's important. Remember, 3 of the 5 matches are doubles. Do you take singles players or doubles players? There are lots of considerations for these teams and coaches.
Yeah, there's a lot to consider in World Team Tennis. I don't envy these people that are in this position. You want to know doubles is pretty valuable. There's 3 points involved there, so you wonder how much you weigh on that. Singles is also very valuable to see how much you can really get maybe a bit of a margin in singles, harder to do in doubles.
Exactly. Here's a look now. Each team must field a minimum roster of 4 players, the 2 men and the 2 women, and the teams may trade players or picks throughout the draft.
And you can see that third and final one. The draft order is based on the 2017 final standings, which is important. It allows a team like the Empire, who had a difficult season last year, to get a nice top pick and really fulfill their team.
Yeah, Philadelphia on top of the standings last year, so they will draft in more of the lower position of the draw. So here's a chance for the Empire's coach now. Step up to the podium, and we will have their first pick coming up. Luke Jensen.
With the first pick in the 2019 draft, I'd like to introduce General Manager of the New York Empire, Michelle Cope.
We are pleased to share that we're going to be bringing back Kirsten Flipkens from Belgium, and excited to have her, and is the #1 overall pick in the draft.
Springfield's now on the clock.
Yeah, an excellent pick by the Empire. Kirsten Flipkens, a veteran, saw her play well here at Indian Wells in the singles, but she is a veteran who can play singles and doubles.
Well, that's the key, Leaf. She's such an important component to a team, because what she can bring not only on the singles court, but also on the doubles court, terrific style of play.
All right, let's go down now to Carrie Fairman. She's the 3rd member of our team.
So tell me about your pick this year for the draft.
We're excited to get Kirsten to sign back up for the WTT Draft. She played on our team in 2017. Was real important in women's singles, women's doubles, even played mixed, and she's a veteran player and somebody who's really excited to be playing in WTT, so we're excited.
All right, fantastic. Great. Well, I'll send it back to Leaf and Mark on that note.
All right, thanks, Carrie. Yeah, that's it's a nice move by the Empire. Obviously, they've got a new coach in Luke Jensen, and they have hopes of doing some big things this year.
Well, that's a great start for the New York Empire. Flipkens, as we mentioned, so good on the singles court, but also brings a lot on the doubles court as well. So she's going to be very valuable for the New York Empire this season.
All right, let's get you back to Carlos, who's on the stage.
Correction, we've got Orange County on the clock.
So the Orange County Breakers selecting second. And you can see they've got now a few moments to get their pick in order. Of course, the Breakers, there's Coach Rick Leach on the left. Of course, having won a title in the last couple of seasons, this is one of the stronger teams over the last run of years. So this is a franchise that's got good leadership and good direction with their coach.
Yeah, Rick Leach knows so much about the game of tennis, not only on the male side, but also on the female side. So you know he's hard at work trying to find that diamond.
Yeah, and he also has a little bit of a doubles background. The guy knows how to play doubles and obviously imparts that to his team. But they've had some MVP play, and again, the doubles is such a huge part of it. And here we've got Carlos Silva back on the podium.
So with the second pick of the 2019 World Team Tennis Draft, I'd like to introduce Eric Davidson from the Orange County Breakers.
Good morning, everyone. The Orange County Breakers are very excited to draft Nicole Gibbs. Nicole's returning to the Breakers. She's been a long-time Breaker, and we're very, very excited to have her. Thank you.
Yeah, excellent pick. Nicole Gibbs, she's MVP material and has made brilliant contributions in the past, and no doubt she'll do it again.
Well, she's such an important component. I was fortunate enough to play World Team Tennis with Nicole when I was with Sacramento Capitals, and she's such a great teammate. And that's so important also when you're drafting, not only how good they are in singles and doubles respectively, but how well they fit in with the team.
All right, Carrie.
Eric, so tell me about your pick with Nicole Gibbs here for the Orange County Breakers this year.
Well, we were looking for a strong singles player, women's singles player, and Nicole has played for our team in the past. And it was just an obvious pick for us. So we're very excited to have her.
Yeah, definitely. Nicole's fantastic. All right, guys, back to you.
It's great to have Eric on board now in an ownership role in the league, and obviously a great leader for the Orange County Breakers.
Yeah, terrific. It's been a fantastic add to have him on board as part of the WTT, and that's a great start to get Nicole Gibbs, somebody who's very solid. He's going to bring not only a lot on the court, but also a lot off the court.
Yeah, the first year that Eric came into the league, got involved with the Orange County Breakers, they won the title. So he's got something of the magic touch. Maybe this first pick will do the same thing. All right, we've got Carrie down courts. Okay, no, we'll stay here for just a moment. Yeah, but Eric seems to have the magic touch, and the Breakers seem to be doing a lot of good things of late.
Well, I think one important component of World Team Tennis is it starts at the top, right? With ownership, we talk about the important parts of building your team, the coach, the chemistry, and also getting the players that buy into what the owners, what they're setting forth. So very, very important to have someone like Eric Davidson be not only an owner, but also a big component of World Team Tennis.
So, clock is ticking down. Time to go back to the stage.
With the third pick in the 2019 World Team Tennis Draft, I'd like to introduce the general managers of the San Diego Aviators, Carrie Buck.
Thanks, everybody, for being here today. The San Diego Aviators are proud to pick Christian Harrison.
Yeah, Christian Harrison, younger brother of Ryan Harrison, and obviously a player with so much potential, excellent athlete, hard worker. This is the guy who would certainly make a fine addition to any lineup.
Well, he's done terrific since he's been able to avoid injury. Here's a player that's been plagued by injuries for most of his career, but he's been relatively healthy for the last 12 to 18 months and really starting to make strides on the ATP World Tour.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be a nice addition. Let's go down to Carrie.
Thanks, guys. Thanks so much. Okay, so tell me a little bit about the strategy behind your pick this season.
Christian's been such a strong singles player. He's a great doubles player as well. Brings some new, fresh energy to the team. Playing alongside his brother Ryan, that's going to be great. They played together to the quarters of the U.S. Open. Mm-hmm. So another strong team, and we're just really excited to have him part of the team.
Okay, and tell me some of the advantages of playing with you guys.
Oh, well, first you get to play down in La Costa, which is fantastic. Mm-hmm. It's a great venue. And we're just going to have a really great team this year.
Okay, fantastic. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks very much. Yeah, it's exciting times, and obviously a good draft position for them. Coming up on the board, looks like Vegas, the Rollers, are going to be up next. And, of course, Vegas and Orlando slotted into the center of the drafting position. So the Rollers are on the clock as they'll ascertain their first ever selection in the draft. So it's sort of a historic moment for them. Yeah, GM Sally Dewhurst. Vegas Rollers, sort of a historic occasion for them. There's Tim Blinkiron, who's the coach. Yeah, some interesting times, and I'm sure they're a little bit nervous.
Yeah, there's some trepidation there. That first pick, as you mentioned, a bit of a historical pick for the Vegas Rollers. But I was pretty impressed by that San Diego pick because Ryan Harrison is going to also be part of the Aviators, so that's going to be special to see the Harrison brothers.
And the brothers in San Diego. Let's see what the Vegas Rollers opt to do.
So this just in from Vegas. There's trade negotiations going on. They remain on the clock. An update will come soon.
All right, so Vegas looking to trade. That's sort of an interesting development there.
Well, no surprise, really, right? Some wheeling and dealing early from the Vegas Rollers. That's what we expect.
I mean, Now the trade puts a little extra time on the clock as the machinations begin. Interesting time for Vegas. Obviously, the addition of a NHL hockey franchise. They've got an NFL team coming to Vegas. And now with World Team Tennis, you've got a nice complement of sports unfolding in that young city, really.
Yeah, I think you hit on it perfectly. With the NHL, the big success with the Vegas Knights, now getting tennis back there. Of course, we used to have a ATP World Tour event there, but to have World Team Tennis go back there. We've had WTT Smash Hits there before in Vegas, but this is really special. This will be a very nice thing for the Vegas Rollers.
Yeah, it's a great time for them, and obviously this is a selection you want to make with care. It's going to decide something in your future, obviously, over the course of this season. But, I mean, which way would you opt to go? Do you pick a guy, a gal? What's the way that you think you would go?
I think you're looking for the strongest player in the draft, either on the male side or the female side. Obviously, you want to make a big impact with that first pick. You know, one thing is a little bit of altitude there as well, so you might want a big server, somebody who can end points quickly on the male side. So it'll be a very interesting pick for the Vegas Rollers.
Yeah, I mean, Las Vegas has a rich history of tennis over the years. The Allen King Classic going back to the early 70s. Of course, Tennis Channel Open out at the Darling Tennis Center.
Could maybe also see if Agassi's available for a couple matches, right?
Yeah, Andre Agassi or maybe Steffi Graf might be available.
He's not very far away.
How convenient would that be for the Rollers? They would really be rolling if they could get a man like that set up, or someone like Steffi Graf. So these teams are all making important moves, and franchise players are key for this as well.
Well, it's always interesting how these franchise players fit in as well. I think this is an important component of the draft today because you obviously want to pick accordingly, and you can see the Washington Kastles look pretty good there. Venus Williams, Francis Tiafoe, and Nick Kyrgios. How exciting to have him in WTT.
Yeah, Tiafoe's a local guy, so he likes playing in D.C., and he wears his Kastles hat everywhere, so he's definitely a fan of the team, and he's going to support it by playing as well.
And the Vegas Rollers have Sam Querrey as their franchise player, somebody who's lived in Vegas, has ties. His dad lived in Las Vegas for a very long time, so very nice to see Sam bringing the big serve to Vegas. It'll be hard to return his serve.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, I think he won the Tennis Channel Open, which was obviously conditions that favor a guy like that who can play with power and impose his game. The Orlando Storm, they've locked up Madison Keys, who has a place in Orlando. So those will be home matches for her, so that's a nice, convenient arrangement.
Yeah, and as we touched upon, the San Diego Aviators, Ryan Harrison there. They just drafted Christian Harrison, so that's going to be special to see those guys on the court together. They've done well in doubles on the ATP World Tour, made the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open. Also have Coco Vandeweghe, who's presently injured, but she'll be in full flight by summer.
Yeah, Ryan Harrison had an MVP season. And obviously when you had the likes of Coco Vandeweghe making contributions, obviously hoping that she's back healthy, and Taylor Fritz, who's also a local guy, that's a pretty formidable lineup of marquee and franchise players, I should say. Here's Taylor Fritz. I mean, obviously this is a young man who's going in the right direction in the game, so committed to the sport. He seems to be doing all the right things, which is so important.
And he also has such a great game, not only for the ATP World Tour, but also for World Team Tennis, because he serves big and he returns well. So he can affect play right from the start on both sides.
And looking at the Springfield Lasers, Miomir Kekmanovic, this is a player who played brilliantly last year, MVP performance, getting the Lasers to their first title. He's also still alive at Indian Wells Tennis Garden here at the BNP Paribas Open. I mean, this is a guy who's loaded with talent, still very young, and his game is still in development. He's got a huge future.
Yeah, you're high on him, Leaf. You were very impressed with him. He had a terrific season, and as you mentioned, lost in the qualifying here in Indian Wells, but is into the round of 16s, has had some terrific wins, and is really playing with a lot of confidence. So he will be a very important component for the Springfield Lasers.
There's some wonderful pictures from them clinching the title. That was the Lasers' first title, and they were 5-time finalists before finally getting over the line. So Kekmanovic doing a great job getting John Lafney de Jager, a longtime coach of Springfield, his first title, and bringing it back to that wonderful community at the Cooper Tennis Complex here in Springfield that does a great job supporting the team. All right, so that's our look at some of the franchise players. Let's get back to Carlos Silva, who's with our next draft team.
I'd like to announce that the Vegas Rollers have traded for the rights to the Bryant brothers in exchange for their first-round pick and financial consideration. Washington Kastles are now on the clock.
Wow. That is a significant development, Bob and Mike Bryan. Well, you add them to any roster, and what can you say about them?
Well, I
You've
mean,
faced them too many times, haven't you?
There are a lot of great adjectives used to describe the Bryan brothers, the greatest doubles team of all time. Not only what they do on the court, it's what they do off the court. They bring so much excitement. They're fully engaged. They bring just so much, not only to a team, to a community. You have to love watching the Bryan brothers play for their brilliance on the court, but also for what they bring off the court.
Yeah, obviously Stanford University players, so they played college team tennis. They played Davis Cup, and you get them in the World Team Tennis format. They're comfortable with that, and again, they have that chemistry that adds to the team and builds that. It's such an important part of World Team Tennis.
Yeah, I had some interesting times with the Bryan brothers in World Team Tennis because we played against them, but the Sacramento Capitals was being coached by Wayne Bryan, so that was an interesting dynamic.
You had the secrets. Of course, these are pictures when the Bryans played a bit for the Kastles, and Mark Ein obviously doing a great job there. And the DC team is next up. You see Mark Ein, Murphy Jensen, Carlos Silva there.
And is that Jimmy? That's Jimmy Arias as
Jimmy
well.
Jimmy Arias looks like to be over there as well with the DC squad. Here's Carlos.
So I'd like to introduce the owner of the Washington Kastles, Mark Ein. He's going to be introducing a few new members of his staff, and we'll make their next pick.
It's with great pleasure that I announce an expanded coaching team for this year, starting with our beloved head coach, Murphy Jensen, who returns for his 11th season with the Kastles. Not able to join us because he's with two of his players, three of them actually, John Isner and the Bryan brothers. David McPherson will be on our coaching team this year. And last but not least, the great Jimmy Arias is joining our coaching team. And this group has collectively decided that in the first round, returning for his second season with the Washington Kastles after a little paternity leave in 2018, the number 5 doubles player in the world, 5-time Grand Slam champion, Bruno Soares from Belo Horizonte, Brazil.
Yeah, Bruno Soares, what a pickup that is. 4th pick in the first round. He's worth every bit of interest there.
Yeah, very interesting pick, but the Washington Kastles know a lot about taking top doubles players. They had Leander Paes for a number of years as an important part of their team. Now it's handed over to Bruno Soares. He's won numerous Grand Slams. He's a great team player. He will bring a lot of chemistry.
All right. Carrie?
Okay, so Bruno Soares is the pick for this year. So tell me what the strategy behind that was.
Well, you know, doubles wins World Team Tennis championships, and we had a legendary Leander Paes for many years, and he's a tough guy to replace. But Bruno Soares, number 5 in the world, 5-time Grand Slam champion, played for us 2 years ago. His family had a baby last year, so he couldn't join us, so we're thrilled to have him back on the team.
Great. And the expansion of the coaching team, how are you guys feeling this is going to really enhance the Kastles' opportunity to take the championship this year?
Well, look, first of all, I'm with the guy who's won, how many, 6? Yeah. 6 championships, so I'm going to learn from Murph as we go on. But we've got some experience, obviously, coaching over the last few years.
Great. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Thanks.
All right, thanks very much. And boy, what an acquisition that is. I mean, besides the draft pick of Soares, you got Jimmy Arias, who's going to come in and do some of the part-time coaching alongside Murphy Jensen. I mean, I'm not sure there's a better X's and O's guy than Jimmy Arias.
Jimmy's fantastic. Obviously, one of the top players. Huge forehand. He's done it all. He's been part of the broadcast team at Tennis Channel. He's working at IMG as well. He knows the game inside and out, not only on the male side, but also on the female side. He's been close to Danielle Collins recently, who's been doing terrific. So he's going to add a lot to the Washington Kastles, and I like that pick. I think it was a good pick, Bruno Soares.
Yeah. Oh, Mark Hein always seems to have something going on, something up his sleeve. One of the guys who's helped the Kastles obviously get 6 titles, which put them in a tie with the Caps, right? That's your team.
Yeah, it makes me think back to 2012 when they beat us in the finals. 2019, I'm starting to get a little sad, but
I think that was Venus Williams, right, over Coco Vandeweghe in the
Coco
last.
In the last match.
Brilliant
Coco
finish
had match point, but
in Charleston. That was.
I don't remember it at all.
No, it doesn't bother you at all. All right, so we're moving forward.
But I think that was a very good pick because, as I mentioned, the Washington Kastles had Leander Paes for a very long time, somebody who brought a lot on the doubles court, brought a lot of energy. Bruno Suarez is the same type of guy. He can play extremely well, not only in men's doubles, but also in mixed doubles. Very good. So very important component to that team.
All right, let's go to our new CEO.
For the next pick in the 2019 draft, making their first pick as a new expansion franchise, the Orlando Storm, and their general manager, Jocelyn Davey.
With our first pick in the 2019 draft, the Orlando Storm select Whitney Asigwe.
Well, that says a lot about this young tennis player's potential, doesn't it? Number 5 pick in the draft, Whitney Asigwe, obviously one of the most talented juniors in the world. But boy, her potential is unlimited, sky high.
It's a terrific pick. She brings so much to the court. She's got so much talent, and as we know, she's going to be a star in this game. She's already started her ascent, and that's going to bring a lot of excitement to the Orlando Storm.
All right, let's go down to Carrie.
Thanks so much, guys. So tell me, what is your draft pick going to bring to the Orlando Storm?
Well, Whitney is one of the rising stars on the WTA in the tennis world. She trains in Orlando, so it'll be a bit of a home court for her. So I think she'll have a bright future on tour, as well as a bright future with World Team Tennis. So we're excited to have her.
Okay, and as one of the expansion teams, how are you guys feeling going into the league?
We're pumped. We're so excited to be part of this organization.
Great. Thanks so much.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about team tennis is you got Whitney Asigwe, the possibility to line up alongside maybe a veteran player as a teammate who she can learn from. You know, you've got a lot of this friction between young and old, veterans and sort of youngsters, and that's what makes World Team Tennis experience so valuable for the players.
Well, I think it's important, especially when you add somebody that's so young like Whitney to a team, to put her in the right environment. And as you mentioned, one of the star players there, I believe, is Madison Keys, so it'll be great for her to be around her, see what it's like to be a professional, somebody who's achieved at the very highest part of the game. And she also brings a level of excitement, right? We all want to see the next stars. She's going to be a future star, and what a great place to start right there in Orlando.
Yeah, they're playing their tennis this year, the Orlando Storm, at the USTA National Campus, Lake Nona, Florida. So that is one of the best facilities in the world, if not the best facility. So obviously the ability to train there, play their matches there, and get home support there is going to be huge for them.
Well, I think it's also important because of her age. You want Whitney to be comfortable, right? She's going to be comfortable there. You mentioned the USTA National Campus. She's around people that she knows, so it's going to be a very nice experience because there is a lot of pressure in World Team Tennis. I know part of my Sacramento Capital teams, we had some young stars as well. I remember back Nicole Vadiasova, who was a young emerging star. We've had players like that. You need to make sure that they have, kind of the right components around them so that they can succeed.
Yeah, some of the other, I think Victoria Azarenka played for the Sacramento Capitals, and did Maria Sharapova also play? I'm not sure, but she may have played in Southern California.
Orange County.
Yeah, Orange County.
Yeah.
So there are young players making their way through in World Team Tennis who emerge on the scene and establish themselves as real champions. So it's one of the stepping stones in our game.
Yeah, it's so important to put them in the right environment so that they can succeed and also be comfortable because it is a lot of pressure. I think when you're a young person, it's one of the first times you get in an environment where you're not only playing for yourself, you're playing for the team, you're playing for the community, playing for everybody that's cheering for you. So I think that was a very nice pick for the Orlando Storm.
All right, here's Carlos.
Next up with their pick from the Washington Kastles, I'd like to introduce the owner, Mark Ein.
With our second pick in the first round, the Kastles are taking the number 74 men's singles player in the world, defending Shenzhen Open champion in the round of 16 here tomorrow against the Springfield Lasers, Miramar Kikmanovic, in an exciting match for a big quarterfinal berth for both of them. We take from Japan, Yoshi Nishioka.
Wow, this guy has been a revelation this week, and I think maybe a year or two ago, we knew how talented he was. Setback with a couple of injuries, but again, reestablished himself pretty quickly as a player to watch and a part of the Kastles now.
Yeah, that's a terrific pick. He's playing exceptional tennis right now. He's up to a live ranking of 63 in the world based on his results here in Indian Wells. Had a huge win yesterday, 7-6 in the third over the next superstar in the men's game, Felix Auger-Aliassime. So Nishioka is going to bring a lot. So pair him with the experience and the kind of mentality of Bruno Suarez. I like the way the Kastles are thinking right now.
Yeah, exactly. The Kastles had a bit of a down year last year. They're maybe thinking that this year could be their year. Let's go down to Carrie.
Mark, Nishioka is quite a pick. Tell me, what is he going to bring to the team?
Oh, gosh, he's such a talented player. We were here last night watching him into the wee hours play Felix from Canada, and he pulled it out 7-6 in the third and showed so much grit and fight that we thought that guy's got the character we want on the Kastles. Yeah. He's a great player, and we're really excited to have him on the team.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thanks so much, Mark.
Thank you.
Mark Ein working it pretty well for the Kastles, and there's Billie Jean King.
And there's Judy Murray.
There's Judy Murray, yes.
She knows a thing about talent. The mother of Andy and Jamie Murray. Interesting to hear Mark Ein's interview there. You know, the one thing he said about Nishioka, his fight. Right? And that's what you need in World Team Tennis. You need to be able to fight in those tense moments when the pressure really goes up. You've got to be able to bear down, and it seems like that's something that stood out for Mark Ein when he watched Nishioka play.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And also with the growth of tennis in Japan, we're seeing more and more Japanese players. Nishioka, an important part of the Japanese Davis Cup push. So he's got international experience at all sorts of levels, and this World Team Tennis experience will be a big part of his development as well. All right, let's get back to the podium.
Next up, the Philadelphia Freedoms. She needs no introduction. Her name's on the trophy. Next up, Billie Jean King.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to 2019. Anyway, on behalf of the Freedoms family, I'd like to introduce Judy Murray, who is, I think all of you know. But she's going to be with our player development, our coaching, community tennis. She's so crazy about tennis, so we're really fortunate to have her. And her two sons in 2016, Andy was #1 in the world, and Jamie was #1 in the world in doubles. So it doesn't get any better than that. So come on up, Judy.
Morning. Really looking forward to getting involved with the Philadelphia Freedoms and World Team Tennis. And team tennis for me is everything that I believe in about tennis. Mixed teams, great for players, great for fans. And I've got the T-shirt, I've got the cheese, and I'm pleased to announce that our first pick is Adrian Menendez Maceras. Thank you.
So Adrian Menendez Maceras, the #7 pick for the Freedoms.
Very solid player from Spain, ranked just inside the top 150. He'll bring that consistency that you look for in World Team Tennis.
Yeah, there are two ways you can go in team tennis. Do you want the power, do you want the aggression, or do you want the consistency? They're going to get it with Adrian. Let's go down to Carrie.
Judy, it's so great to have you as a part of World Team Tennis. Tell me about your pick.
Our pick is Adrian Menendez Maceras. He's a Spaniard. He's 33 years old, and he will bring huge experience and solidity to the team, and he will complement very nicely our protected players of Taylor Townsend, Raquel Atawo, and Fabrice Martin, who have huge experience of World Team Tennis, and particularly with the Freedoms.
Mm-hmm. And is there anything different in particular that you would like to bring?
I think for me, I think learning about how it all works, it's clearly very complicated and very strategic. I love the whole thing of helping to manage a team that encompasses both men and women, both singles and doubles and mixed doubles. It's a funky, fun, fast, furious format, and I've got a lot to learn about that, but the strategy of tennis and team building and tactics has always been the things that I've loved most about getting involved in tennis. So I think it plays into everything that I enjoy, and it's clearly so much about having a real consistency in your team and understanding the chemistry of how it all works. So.
Yep. Absolutely. Thanks so much, Judy.
All right, excellent acquisition. I mean, this is a guy who, 33 years of age, Menendez Macieras, who has come really through the Rafa Nadal generation, hasn't he? So he's been inspired and influenced by all these guys.
Yeah, there's so many different ways you can go in the draft, and as you mentioned, he's going to bring consistency. He's experienced. You mentioned 33 years of age. He's been around. He knows how to play. He's been just outside the top 100. Been around for a very long time. So he's going to bring consistent effort every single night.
Yeah, Springfield on the clock with the last pick of the opening round. It's been an interesting opening round and lots of interesting developments. Of course, the Lasers, the defending champions from last year, we mentioned their breakthrough happening in 2018. It took many years, but boy, that was a win. Thrilling fashion coming down to the final set. All right, here's Carlos Silva.
So to finish up the first round of the 2019 draft, I'd like to introduce Bob Belote from the ownership representative of the Springfield Lasers to finish off our first round with their pick.
Thank you, Carlos. It's been awful nice to have this particular trophy in Springfield, Missouri this past year. Would like to, thank you. I'd like to acknowledge our championship-winning team back there, our general manager, Paul Nahan, our 12-year coach, J.L. DeYager. Excellent job, guys. Job well done. And I'd like to also acknowledge the Cooper family back in Springfield, along with our Springfield Greene County Park Board. We lost an icon in our community this past year with the passing of Harry Cooper, but his nephew, John Cooper, stays in touch with us, helps support our team, and we could not do this without the Cooper family, but we really appreciate all they do for us, for sure. But with our first-round pick, the last pick of the first round, the Springfield Lasers proudly select Joe Salisbury to round out our doubles team along with Abby Spears. Excited about this.
Yeah, the number 8 pick, Joe Salisbury.
He's done a terrific job on tour, up to 21 in the world in doubles. He's doing a terrific job. So this is a very solid pick. Obviously, JL knows a lot about doubles. He respects this man's ability. So look for Salisbury to do a very good job for the Lasers.
All right, let's go back to Carrie.
Joe Salisbury. So what is the strategy behind this pick? I know that you mentioned the doubles strength, but is there anything else that you had?
Boy, it's about powerhouse doubles. Great way to start off this year's team. We're bringing back Abby Spears, very strong female doubles player, but to bring in the 21st ranked doubles player in the world, hey, great way to start our laser season.
And is that helping you feel like you're going to bring back the championships again this year?
Absolutely. We're all about repeating. I mean, that's what all of us are in here is to win, but feel good about where we're starting and the team we're building this year.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, I don't know what's happening in Great Britain, but they're developing a lot of good tennis players. We've got Judy Murray now on the Freedoms. Great influence she has. Now Joe Salisbury making a contribution. So there's plenty here for the Lasers.
Yeah, there's a bunch of great doubles players on the ATP World Tour now. There are about 6 or 7 guys in the top 60, and Joe Salisbury's had a terrific year. He's been playing most of the year with Rajiv Ram. They're coming off a big win in Dubai just last week where they took the title. So he's playing with a lot of confidence. I think he's going to be a very important part for their team.
Yeah, hugely significant because you can slide in Salisbury, obviously the men's doubles, but also possibly the mixed doubles. 3 of the sets in team tennis are doubles, so you've got to cover your bases when it comes to that. And yes, the singles is important. That's leadership, but doubles, maybe on the scoreboard, might be even more important.
Yeah, I think it is the most important part, and you got to have the emotional. And if we look at round 1 draft recap so far, Flipkins going to the Empire with the first pick. That was a terrific pick. Nicole Gibbs, excellent pick by the Breakers, former MVP for the Breakers.
Yeah, Christian Harrison making it a real family affair, isn't it, with his addition, Ryan also being a part of the team. Bruno Suarez for the Kastles, doubles expert. Whitney Osigwe, the youngster. Orlando Storm, their first pick, their first year in the league, pretty exciting. Yoshihito Nishioka for the Kastles. Adrian Menendez Macieras for the Freedoms, and Joe Salisbury. So what do you think of the selection so far?
Well, I think it's very interesting because there's a lot of variety there, right? You have great singles players like Flipkins, and then you have great doubles players like Suarez, Salisbury. You know, there's a nice mixture there. It just goes to show how much goes into this draft for these teams, trying to figure out which players will significantly give the most impact for their team.
And exactly, and you match those with the franchise players that existing teams already have. Okay, how do I mix and match a doubles guy with, say, I don't know, John Isner or Madison Keys? How are we going to work that? So that's where the strength can lie, is putting the chemistry in the teams together.
And Washington did an excellent job. They have Nick Kyrgios as one of their franchise players. They got Bruno Suarez to play with him. You need to be very even keel when you play with Nick Kyrgios.
Bruno's going to give you that. He's a chill Brazilian. He's very cool and very comfortable. He'll get Nick flying in the right way, and I'm sure Margine will as well. But so that's sort of the completion of the opening round. Now, the second round, it's going to be Orlando, the Storm, picking first. Trade with New York at the top. But one last glance there, and we'll have to see how the second round goes. But some MVPs in there as well, so we'll see in the how that shakes down.
Well, it gets interesting now because you've kind of shown your cards of what you're looking for. So now, as you mentioned, teams are looking to just piece in components that will fulfill their team. So it'll be very exciting to see how round 2 develops.
Yeah, Jocelyn Davey was the GM for the Orlando Bloom. So we'll see how they develop that pick. I mean, we talk about who's going to go. Are you going to go singles or doubles?
Beginning the second round, and to begin the second round of the draft, we have a change. Orlando's now on the clock. The Storm has acquired the first pick of the second round from the New York Empire.
All right, so the Storm, well, we'll see what pick they make. Again, Orlando, is it another American possibly with roots in Orlando? The more comfortable you can make your players in their surroundings, that can be significant.
I have a feeling they're going to go with male with this pick. We mentioned they got Osogwe, and they also have Madison Keys as a franchise player, so maybe looking to add their first ATP player here. A lot of discussions going on. Quick look at Scott Lipsky. He is the coach for the Orlando Storm this year.
Yeah, Scott was an assistant last year with the Breakers under Rick Leach.
Former French Open mixed doubles champion with Casey Delacroix. Always nice to have a Grand Slam titleist as your coach.
And plenty of team experience, obviously. College tennis at Stanford and team tennis as player and as coach. All right, let's get down to Carlos.
With the next pick, and to begin the second round, the new coach of the Orlando Storm and Grand Slam winner, Scott Lipsky.
Thanks, everybody. Happy to be here on this side of the draft this year and not sweating it out as a player. With our second round pick, the Orlando Storm will take Ken Skupski.
Yeah, here's a look at Ken Skupski. He's the left-handed of the two British brothers. And this is a guy who obviously can slot in men's doubles, and you can see him playing here in mixed. Very talented.
He's a terrific doubles player. Just inside the top 60, knows his way around the doubles court very well.
All right, Carrie?
Ken Skupski, so what exactly is he going to bring to the Storm?
Well, he's a great doubles player, and, doubles is so big in World Team Tennis, like Mark said earlier, so we're really happy. He's played a few seasons already. He's had some great success. We're happy to have him with us.
Great. And as one of the new expansion teams to the WTT, what is the Storm going to bring?
We're going to bring a lot of fire. We're going to be excited. We want to do well. We want to promote the league, do great for Orlando, and it'll be a fun season.
Great. Well, we're looking forward to watching.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, thanks, Carrie. Yeah, and Skupski brings so much valuable experience. His brother Neil also plays in the league, and I don't think they'll be on the same team together like Ryan and Christian Harrison are this year, but certainly an excellent addition. I think being left-handed helps a lot.
I say it's a 15% advantage. I've always said that, and I'm going to stick with it forever. So
who's to argue with that?
Having a lefty on your team is always great. But you're so right. He's played World Team Tennis before. He understands it. He deals with the pressure well. Great teammate, can bring a lot to their team. That's a really solid pick by the Orlando Storm.
Yeah, the Orlando Storm is making some nice inroads here in their first ever draft. Here's a look at the Orange County Breakers. Alan Hardison, Rick Leach, trying to make a decision.
Rick Leach, always calm under pressure. Never shows his cards.
He's not sweating at all.
Tremendous bridge player.
Another left-hander. All right, so they're poised to make their pick. Of course, the Breakers have been a very strong team over the last 3 years, including a World Team Tennis title, a King Trophy, and again, making moves in the right way. Let's go down to Carlos, who's
Next
at the podium.
With their pick in the second round from the Orange County Breakers, Coach Rick Leach, 9-time Grand Slam winner.
Thanks, everyone. With the 2019 second-round pick, the Orange County Breakers select British Davis Cup player James Ward.
All right. Another Brit on the board, James Ward. Second pick in the second round.
Okay, James Ward, tell me about that pick.
Well, I remember watching him play Davis Cup against John Isner and beating him, and so I had a lot of respect for his game, and he's a big player, big serve, and I think he's going to be great for the format.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, he is a very strong player, and looking forward to watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that is a nice addition. James Ward's got some good qualities as a player. He's got Davis Cup experience, and I think he finds ways to win, which is indispensable in team tennis.
James Ward is a really good player. Obviously, Americans know him well. You heard Rick Leach just refer to his big win over John Isner, but he also beat Sam Querrey as well in Davis Cup. He was a bit of a United States killer there for a while in Davis Cup. Nobody wanted to see him on the other side of the net. So here's a guy who plays well in those types of environments, deals with pressure extremely well. He should be a great fit for World Team Tennis.
Yeah, the Brits this year, very much. And Salisbury, here's Ward, and Judy Murray, and John Lloyd is one of the captains, obviously, one of the coaches. So the British tennis scene making a nice contribution.
Really moving things along. I'd like to bring back Kerry Buck, general manager of the San Diego Aviators, for the next pick in the second round.
Thanks, Carlos. For our second round pick, the San Diego Aviators choose Astra Sharma.
All right, so Ashrana Sharma with the pick, and that's an interesting selection.
Yeah, it's a solid pick. You got to find everybody to fit into your team, make sure that you cover all boundaries. I like that pick.
Yeah, this is a good lineup forming. And in fact, all the teams are doing pretty well. Here's Astra, you can see number 3 pick. All right, Carrie.
Carrie, Astra Sharma, tell me about the strategy behind that pick.
The strategy behind Astra is just we've done a lot of research on her. We've gotten great reviews on her. Everybody thinks she's going to be a standout player. Great at singles, great at doubles, finalist of this year's 2019 Australian Open in mixed doubles. So we're really excited to have her come, and I think she'll really bring a lot to the team.
Fantastic. Are there any unique installations in San Diego that make San Diego stand out?
Unique you mean on site?
Yeah, on site.
Just, all kinds of things. And we've got a lot in the works for this year that's going to be some new and exciting things. So when the fans come out, they'll see some new stuff.
Great. Looking forward to seeing.
Great.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks, Carrie. Talking to Carrie and talking about Sharma, who has been playing so well, and obviously the versatility she brings. She can play singles or doubles.
Well, that's the key component right there, the versatility. She plays very well in singles, but also very capable on the doubles court. And that's such an important thing when you're looking to fulfill your roster. You want those players that give you the flexibility on the singles court as well as the doubles court.
Yeah, the Vegas Rollers on the clock, our second new franchise. Love the logo as well.
Very nice. Excellent. Couple cards there.
Vegas Rollers. And the good thing about the Vegas Rollers, the semifinals and the finals of this season will be in Vegas. We'll see it on CBS. So Vegas playing host to championship weekend. Hope you can be a part of that as the season is underway this summer in July. And early August we'll be in Vegas. So Tim Blinkiron, coach this year.
On the phone, Asia Mohammed to his right. Got the cap tipped down pretty low.
Yeah, no, this is interesting. You know, they've got time to make this decision. Obviously, they want to make a reasoned and smart decision about it. You don't get a chance to fill out a lineup too often, so you got to make sure you're getting the right person. What kind of conversations would they be having?
Yeah, interesting. Last-minute phone call there. I think just getting kind of a reassurance that this is the pick we want to go with. So I think they're ready with it.
All right. Let's get ready for this pick from the Rollers and see if they're going to roll the dice here in the second round. Carlos is on stage.
Our new expansion city, Las Vegas. This will be the Vegas Rollers' first World Team Tennis pick ever. I'd like to introduce the general manager, Sally Dewhurst.
So Las Vegas is known for entertainment, but most recently, sports is becoming so strong in Las Vegas. So we're very excited to have the next professional tennis team in Las Vegas and carry on Billie Jean King's legend. And to introduce our first pick for the 2019, I bring the Vegas Rollers coach, Tim Blinkiron.
Okay, guys. Good morning, everybody. I don't think this is going to be a surprise to anybody in this room, but our first pick for the 2019 season is our homegrown hero, Asia Mohammed.
Yeah, that's a wonderful pick. Asia Mohammed, such a talented player. We've really seen her grow as a player from when she was a junior, now into the pro ranks. What a wonderful moment for her to be a part of this.
That is special.
Yeah, you have to like Asia Mohammed for the skills she brings. Primarily, I would say more of a doubles player than singles, although she can play singles.
She can play both. I was fortunate enough to play World Team Tennis with her on the Capitals. She did a terrific job, not only on the doubles court, but also on the singles court. She has a big game, very powerful, and she's starting to really find her way. As you mentioned, she's doing a little bit better in doubles right now, into the top 50, but I think she's going to bring a lot to the Vegas Rollers.
All right, Carrie?
Sally, as you mentioned, Vegas is a relatively new sports city. So what does it mean to all of you, actually, to be one of the new expansion teams in Vegas?
Oh, I mean, it's so exciting. And, you know, I've grown up with tennis and had tennis around our family, and just to see something so spectacular and so professional coming to the town is amazing.
Absolutely. What are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts? My thoughts are that there was no way we were going to let Asia Mohammed go past our first pick, you know, being from Las Vegas, and she's not only incredible at doubles, but she's a phenomenal singles player as well, so there was no way we were going to let that happen.
And tell me, are you excited to play?
I'm just a little bit excited to be playing at home and playing with my coach who coaches me now, and then Sally, who I'm really familiar with too.
All right, great, fantastic.
All right, yeah, Asia Mohammed, it's great to see her playing, and I think she reminds me a little bit of an athletic Venus Williams, the way she can attack, come forward, and volley. She's got power off the ground. Her serve is improving. She seems like she is a perfect addition to a team.
Oh, it's wonderful, too, because of her relationship with the coach, Tim Blinkiron. He's coached her for a very long time, so they have a nice relationship. So that part there is an important component. But as you mentioned, her game, very athletic and is a super person. You talk about chemistry on a team, she brings a lot. So excellent pick by the Rollers.
Yeah, pretty exciting time for the Rollers as they kick off their expansion season here at the 2019 World Team Tennis Draft. Leif Scharis alongside Mark Knowles. Glad that you could be with us. We're in the second round of the draft. Orlando, San Diego, Vegas have all made their selections, and we're moving forward. So on the clock now, the Orlando Storm. I mentioned that Vegas and Orlando slotted into sort of the center area of the draft, drafting 4 and 5, with DC, Philly, and Springfield coming in behind them. So they weren't initially slotted at the top, but they were given a fairly advantageous position right in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, WTT rules state that any new franchises, they get kind of injected into the middle of the draft order. This year we have 2 teams, and so therefore there was a coin flip between Orlando and Las Vegas, and Las Vegas won the coin flip. So they got to pick a little bit higher, one pick ahead of the Orlando Storm.
Yeah, these are the players you have to commit to for the 3-week season. Lots of travel, lots of challenges, dealing with success, with adversity, and that's what it's all about. That's why these selections are so vital. And here's Carrie with a little special guest.
Here with Luke Murphy, you seem very focused over here. What are you up to?
Well, I'm just trying to beat Murphy. I am very disappointed because the last, he brings in not only another coach, he brings in two, McPherson and Jimmy Arias, two of my nemesis when I played. So I'm sick of polishing all the King trophies he has in his trophy case. He's won 6 of those things, so I'm back in the game trying to beat him.
And I just called you your last name as your brother's. I'm sorry. Luke
It happens
Jensen.
all the time. It's okay. We have the same haircut.
Thanks, Luke.
All right, Luke Jensen, one of the great characters, but also one of the great coaches. And, he is following in some big footsteps with all the things that Murphy has accomplished with DC. And now Luke's trying to do the same with the Empire.
Yeah, but he's the older brother, right? Doesn't the older brother always take precedent? But very important to realize, we talk so much about the Bryan brothers, how much they've done, but it was really the Jensen brothers who kind of paved the way for the Bryan brothers, bringing that excitement, bringing that energy to the court. Not only great play on the court, but interacting with the fans. So great to have Luke in the WTT this year as a coach.
All right, here's Carlos. Our new CEO stepping up.
With the next pick, the New York Empire is up. I'd like to introduce their new coach, Luke Jensen.
Are you ready, World Team Tennis? Yes! We got to get fired up around here. Our co-founder for many years always talked about pressures of privilege. We have a veteran team. But we're going to look at the next kid, the next amazing American. Ulysses Blanche is our pick to play men's singles and men's doubles. Fire up, World Team Tennis.
All right, Ulysses Blanche, the number 5 pick for the Empire. You can always pick up what Luke is saying, despite that microphone being a little bit low. But Luke always bringing the energy. Here's Carrie.
Luke Jensen. Okay, you're going to fire up World Team Tennis. Tell me about that with your pick.
Well, World Team Tennis is always fired up. We looked at this opportunity for a flamethrower, someone who's young. He's 20 years old. He's already served 111 aces so far in this season. He's doing extremely well, but he can hit a huge forehand, a huge serve, and he brings so much passion and power. He's a road dog. He's lived around the world. He's ready to take on this season.
All right, great. Looking forward to it.
All right, thanks very much. Yeah, Luke Jensen, happy with his pick, and he's got a nice player in Ulysses.
Yeah, excellent. He's very young, only 20 years of age. He's got a very bright future. So as you can see, Luke's bringing a lot of energy. I think he'll thrive under Luke's leadership. Luke brings tremendous kind of excitement to the court. So it'll be nice for the young American to adjust to the pressures of WTT under the guidance of Luke Jensen.
Yeah, we talk about the pressure the players face with no ad scoring, abbreviated sets. But the best thing about it is that you've got someone alongside of you who's going to help you get through these tough moments.
Oh, it's great, being part of a team, but also that coach. And that's why we talk so much about not only team chemistry, but coaching. The coach-player relationship is also super important in World Team Tennis. So very nice pick there for the Empire.
Yeah, they've got some young blood there. So it's the Kastles who are on the clock now. It'll be nice to see the Empire trying to pick up their results. There's a quick glance over there at Mark Ine and his family who are in the house. All right, let's get back to the podium.
Hey, Murphy Jensen. So your brother, Luke, over there had a few words. Do you have anything to say in return?
I've got one word for Luke Jensen, Kastles. We've, look at the record books with the New York team. We've done pretty well when we went up against New York, but it's really an honor and a privilege to have Luke in the league, and it's overdue in my opinion. He brings so much enthusiasm and passion to the game, and I just can't wait to be on the court with him.
All right, well, we can't wait to see.
Woo!
Woo!
All right, Murphy Jensen, such a big part of the success of the Kastles over the years. We talk about the coach. We were just talking about it, the coach having an influence on the players, and Murphy always seems to bring that energy, and no doubt Luke will do the same. And these guys are cut from the same cloth. They talk about passion and energy. They both have it.
Yeah, you'd have to say that Murphy's brought the most energy we've ever seen, even more than the players. I was fortunate enough to play against the Kastles with Murphy leading the ship, and it was such a tremendous energy that he brought to the court. You could actually see him elevate the level of the players, and that's really a special thing.
Carlos?
Kastles have been doing a lot of work, and I'd like to introduce Charlie Ein to the podium with the next pick for the Washington Kastles.
So we used to be really good. In the last couple of years, we haven't been so good. And I thought maybe I need to tap into a little bit of a different brain trust this year, someone who's a little more in touch with the next generation. And I looked around the house and I found Charlie, and he had really strong ideas about how to craft the team. And so with our third pick in this draft, we're going to take the 2017 U.S. Open Juniors champion from Ukraine.
Yes.
Marta Kostiak.
Marta Kostiak.
That's it. Marta Kostiak.
Marta Kostiak. All right. Well done, Charlie. I see great things in his future as a GM or possibly as a coach of the Kastles. But that's also a good pick.
Also, good to see Mark Ein tapping into all his resources.
Yeah, I wonder who the brains are of the Kastles. We'll see. Let's get down to Carrie.
So clearly you've brought out your secret weapon.
Yes.
So now, do you feel really strong about your pick? Obviously, Charlie's pick. Do you think that she's going to really take over?
Kostiak.
Yeah, Marta Kostiak's really good. She no, we actually were looking a lot of tape of her last night. Our coaching staff was, and she won the U.S. Open Juniors in 17 and 18. She made it to the third round of the Australian after qualifying, and she's super young, but I think she's going to be a great player on the world stage for years to come, and we're excited to have her start with the Kastles.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Mark. And Charlie. For all that. That's good. And they always seem to add solid players who are going to make contributions. And that's, again, as you said, that's what it's all about, finding men and women who can contribute in a team way.
Well, you can really see the thought process that the whole Kastles organization goes into when selecting their players. So we've seen some experience with Bruno Suarez. Now we see it with youth as well. So really rounding out their team nicely.
Yeah, the Kastles always seem to make it competitive. And as he said, a couple of down years, a little bit of an injection of youth, and that's what they've got.
Well, they were on such a magical run, it was hard to sustain it because everybody was hunting for them, after them. So I'm sure that they're going to get right back to their winning ways.
Yeah, 5 consecutive King trophies, as well as a 6th. And a year before, they had 1 year where they didn't take it. Of course, the Capitals, who Mark played with, also had 6 trophies. All right, let's get back to Carlos Silver.
So the Philadelphia Freedom has a full roster, so they won't be making another pick. And next on the clock, the Orange County Breakers.
All right, the Orange County Breakers. The last selection in round 2.
Carlos Silva letting us know that the Freedoms have a full roster. They have a couple protected players, Taylor Townsend, Fabrice Martin, and Raquel Atoao.
Yeah, that's a solid lineup. Atoao, the doubles aficionado, Taylor Townsend, singles and doubles, a left-hander, which you feel is an important addition to a team. And Fabrice Martin, the talented doubles player from France, he is a real force here. You have to deal with him on the court.
Yeah, the important thing there as well, not only do they bring a lot on the court, but team chemistry, something that is so important in World Team Tennis. We talked about playing together as a team for a couple of weeks, traveling together. Those 3 individuals know each other very well, and they provide a lot for the team.
So, yeah, we're talking about the Freedoms, obviously led by Billie Jean King and Lana Kloss, but it's the Orange County Breakers who are on the clock.
Coming to the podium from the Orange County Breakers, we've got athletes from every sport here in World Team Tennis. Place kicker from the University of Nevada, and the general manager, Alan Hardison.
With the 8th pick in the second round, we're proud to introduce Luke Bainbridge, will be joining the Orange County Breakers. Thank you.
All right, Luke Bainbridge, part of the Breakers. Final selection in round 2.
He's played a lot of his doubles on the ATP World Tour with Johnny O'Mara, another Brit. He's into the top 50, another Brit who's having tremendous double success on the tour. So nice to see the Breakers going with a very solid doubles player, and that's going to bring a lot of consistency as well.
And one of the reasons why that we're seeing so many British doubles players, do you feel?
Louis Caillet, the former, he was the coach, he was the Davis Cup coach for Canada, and then he moved over to England, and since he moved over, Jamie Murray's ascended to #1. We've got 6 or 7 guys in the top 60, so he's done an excellent job.
All right, let's go to Carrie.
Okay, so how do you think the draft is going so far?
Well, for us, it's going as planned. We're very lucky that we were able to protect our 3 players, Taylor, Fabrice, and Raquel, and we picked up Adrian, so we're very happy.
Feeling confident?
Well, we'll see how it goes, but yeah, we're feeling very, very confident. Looking forward to the new competition.
Absolutely. What do you think the new expansion teams are going to add to the World Team Tennis?
Well, they're going to add certainly different travel choices. And, I mean, it's always great to have extra cities in World Team Tennis. And, we're one of the first teams, the Philadelphia Freedoms, and we're just really happy to be a part of it this year.
Great. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks very much. Yeah, Craig Carden, obviously one of the better coaches on the league. He's tremendous experience he's had over the years. Look at the Philadelphia Freedoms Brain Trust there, Barbara Perry, and on the left, Lana Kloss. So here's a look at the round 2, a recap. Ken Skupski, the Orlando Storm, getting involved early. James Ward, he's going to play for the Breakers. The Brit, Astra Sharma, and Asia Muhammad.
Yeah, the important thing there is historical. First pick ever for the Vegas Rollers, Asia Muhammad. You got the young American Blanche for the Empire, and then the young Ukrainian for the Washington Kastles, and then another Brit for the Breakers, Luke Bainbridge. So nice job there in round 2 by all of the teams.
Yeah, the Brits have landed here at the World Team Tennis Draft. They're making a real impression, and obviously a reflection of their talent, particularly on the doubles side. I mean, it is pretty stunning. We don't see a lot of nations developing doubles players. Obviously that's an offshoot. Okay, our player development, your opportunity to play, you get involved in the doubles, you have some success, you can get a ranking, you're playing every week.
Yeah, it's very interesting on the British side. Obviously they have a number of players still in singles behind Andy Murray. You think of Kyle Edmund, think of Daniel Evans playing well, but it's really in doubles where they're coming to the forefront right now.
So as the draft moves along, some rosters are getting filled up. The New York Empire now has a full roster, and so Springfield is now on the clock.
Still a lot of discussion going on as we get into round 3. Springfield Lasers on the clock. I mentioned coming off their first title last year after being in the finals for 5 years. Great leadership with JL, his 12th year. He's been coaching for the Springfield Lasers, and that was one of my favorite places to play. The fans are so into the matches. They're really engaged. Such a wonderful town for tennis.
Yeah, the Cooper Tennis Complex in Springfield, a sunken court, and it's a facility that has plenty of courts and plenty of tennis going on there, USTA events, local tennis events. It really is a wonderful spot, and the Lasers do a great job hosting World Team Tennis. And of course, coming in as the defending champs, that's going to be a new feeling for them, something that they've never done before. We mentioned 5 trips to the championship before finally getting over the line, beating the Freedoms last year, and it was a very close match. Disappointed for the Freedoms, but boy, euphoria for the Lasers to finally get the King Trophy.
Yeah, the Freedoms had such a spectacular year. They really dominated, but on that day, Springfield was able to rise above Philly. It was a very close match, but as you mentioned, after falling short 5 times, that's tough. So nice for Springfield to finally obtain that championship.
Yeah, and I think there's a look at Miomir Kekmanovic, the man who ultimately clinched it for the Lasers. It was a real battle. It was a fun match, and this is what team tennis is all about. Obviously, all the other players set it up for him at the end to take the last set, and that is such a brilliant feeling after all the weeks of travel, all the practice sessions, all the matches you put in to celebrate with your team a victory like that. Of course, some changes this year. We won't be seeing the multicolored court that has so defined World Team Tennis over the years, but they opted to go with just a regular blue color.
Yeah, they're going to go with the U.S. Open blue on the inside, and then if you watch the Laver Cup, that gray on the outside. So it's going to be a little bit more friendly for the players visually as well.
All right, here's Carlos Silva.
So with the Springfield Lasers, General Manager Paul Nahan will make the next pick.
The Springfield Lasers pick Enrique Lopez Perez.
All right, Enrique Lopez Perez. First pick in the third round. A couple of teams now have filled out their lineups, but the Lasers just filling out theirs. So, again, adding players like this, it's going to be helpful for them.
Yeah, it's important to round out your team, and Lopez Perez is very solid. He's going to bring every single night, solid on the singles court as well as the doubles court. They'll bring a level of consistency to the team. So very solid pick there for the Lasers.
Yeah, and again, it's all about winning games. Remember, each game you play is going to add to the final score. So Lopez is going to win games, and that's going to be important. We're just waiting for Carrie here. Let's go down to Carrie.
Tell me a little bit about your pick and what he's going to bring to the team.
Okay, we were looking at the doubles component as well as the singles, so we were looking at the blend of the two, and based on what we looked at from video and everything else, we decided to go with Enrique.
How do you think he's going to change the dynamic of last year and bring extra strength? What extra strength do you really think?
Boy, good question. Last year we had a great team. We had Misha, who was up and coming, had a great show last year. We think he can bring something to the table again with his tenure and being on the tour for a long time. We're confident that he will deliver for us.
Great, fantastic. Looking forward to it.
They're great. Thank you.
Thanks, Kerry. Yeah, Paul Nahan, who's been involved with the team for many years. I mean, he seems very satisfied with the pick. And again, that's that energy you build. You make your picks, you believe in them, and this is what it's all about. You got to build together to get over the line.
Well, their coach, JL, is very in tune to the game as well. He follows the game year-round, so he's really following players' progress. He knows who's peaking, who's playing well, who's healthy, who's not healthy. So obviously they did their due diligence, and they're very happy with their pick.
Yeah, it sounds like he might have beaten you in doubles because you're giving him some respect. You had to have played him a couple times, didn't you?
I played JL quite a bit, actually. Yeah.
All right, I won't ask you how you did with him, but he certainly has valuable experience. So San Diego's on the clock next here in the third round. And here's Carlos.
San Diego Aviators will be making their next pick. Back to the podium, General Manager Carrie Buck.
Thank you again, Carlos. For this round, our pick is Johnny O'Mara. Coach Lloyd, of course, had me, tells me I have to pick at least one Brit for the team. So we're happy to pick Johnny O'Mara.
Well, Mark, I'm not surprised. Another British doubles player who's having some great season right now. He's just playing some great tennis. And in the second pick in the third round, that's a pretty valuable pickup for the things he's been doing.
Yeah, real solid. Obviously, the coach, John Lloyd, has some British roots, so he knows a lot about Johnny O'Mara and very pleased with that pick.
All right, Carrie?
Johnny O'Mara, you said you had to pick one Brit, and you made your choice.
Yep, had to have a Brit for Coach Lloyd. No, but we're really excited about adding him to the team. He's going to bring a lot of great skill and great personality to the team, and just fit in really well with us, and maybe face off against his own doubles partner when we're playing against Orange County in Luke Bambridge. So,
all right, that'd be a fun one. Okay, we shall see. Thank you so much.
Yeah, San Diego has had a number of British players over the years. Obviously, Marcus Willis played for them, and John Lloyd is the coach. So they've had a number of contributions from British players, and you can find players from anywhere, and they're going to help your team. So Vegas on the clock for the moment.
Yeah, it was a very solid pick. He had won 2 titles last year, won one in Stockholm and Eastbourne with Luke Bambridge, who we've seen already get drafted. So, as we mentioned, the Brits are very solid on the doubles court.
All right, so we're getting our next pick ready to go. Let's go to Carlos.
Back to the podium, the new coach of the Vegas Rollers, Tim Blankiron.
Here we go again. We're gonna have that. For our next pick, the Vegas Rollers choose Roger Federer. He's available, right? No, I'm just kidding. We're going to take Jay Clark.
Now here's Jay Clark, another Brit, third pick in the third round. All right. Another Brit distinguishing himself. Carrie?
Tim, too bad that Federer wasn't available, but Jay Clark is a great pick. So tell me a little bit about your thinking.
Well, our GM's English, and Jay's English, and I don't know Jay, but she said that I got to pick an English guy, so I just did what I was told.
Well, that was very wise of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, you're
We
welcome.
need that chemistry.
Nice work. Thanks so much, Tim.
All right, thanks very much. Yeah, we start getting into this third round. You start filling out lineups. You've got singles players, you've got doubles players. Where do I need to add a player? And another British doubles player.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. I'm not sure if he's quite as good as Roger Federer, but hopefully he brings a lot to the table. But I like the way Vegas was thinking. They were trying to roll the dice there and maybe get somebody like Federer, but a very solid addition on the doubles court.
Yeah, Tim Blinkiron, who's got plenty of good coaching experience. He'll obviously be the first-year coach, and he's going to bring some experience to the table.
Yeah, definitely. He's been in coaching for a very long time, and he's got a good energy about him, a good excitement, which is very important to be the coach on the sideline. You got to have good energy. You got to bring excitement. You got to keep your players very fired up so that you can elevate their games.
Yeah, find ways to communicate to your players, get the best out of them. Orlando Storm, one of our new expansions, are on the clock here in the third round. And we'll see what decision the Storm take. Jocelyn Davey is the GM. Mentioned that Scott Lipsky is the coach.
I'd like to welcome the general manager of the Orlando Storm, Jocelyn Davey, to make their third pick.
With the third round pick, the Orlando Storm picked doubles specialist Daria Jurak.
So Daria has a lot of experience in World Team Tennis and also on the WTA Tour, doing some great things in doubles. She will certainly be very solid indeed.
Yeah, she's very solid on the doubles court, not just in ladies doubles, but also in mixed doubles. Does not get intimidated easily. So that is a terrific pick.
Carrie?
You got some oohs and ahs over that pick. So tell me a little bit about your strategy behind that.
So I think that was actually coming from San Diego. She was a member of their championship team, so I feel like I've stolen someone a little bit. We're really excited to have her. She's a specialty spinner. She's a veteran on tour. She's a veteran with World Team Tennis, and I think she'll be able to help out one of our younger players.
All right, storming into the league.
Exactly right.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Yeah, the Storm doing a nice job adding Daria, who, I've watched her play over the years. She's only gotten better and more convincing as a player, and I think the results show her on the WTA.
Well, also, when you think about their first pick was Whitney, to be able to blend somebody with experience that also has very good composure to help her kind of navigate the waters, excellent pick.
Yeah, and obviously Madison Keys is a franchise player for the Storm, so they're building a pretty solid lineup there. Remember, they're one of the two expansions teams with the Vegas Rollers, so we'll see how they shake out. What will it be like for that team, do you feel, being their first year out?
I think it'll be interesting. It's always tough that first year out. You hear a lot about World Team Tennis, but until you actually experience the pressure, we see the emotions that it elicits from some players, positively and negatively. There's a lot of pressure. So I think it'll help that they're at the USTA National Tennis Center, where it just kind of makes them feel a little bit more comfortable in an environment where Whitney's trained. She's comfortable in that environment. So I think that will help, but it's going to be tricky.
Yeah, I think the Florida tennis community is going to embrace this. They embrace College Match Day. They invite and sort of embrace all the other events that are going on in Orlando. So I feel like it's going to be an excellent part of the tennis community there. All right, so here's a look at Mark Ein as he's alongside Jimmy Arias, his newest coaching addition, who's going to work alongside Murphy Jensen.
Arias making a last-minute call as well. Is he calling down to IMG Academies to see if they have any secret weapons in the pipeline?
Well, I always feel like Arias is a former world number 4 in singles, former U.S. Open singles semifinalist, has got some great ideas about the game. I think he sees players' potential, and he sees the things that they can do and the things that they need to work on. I think it's going to be a hugely significant addition.
A great player, but definitely wasn't able to beat Leif Shiras, was he?
He did. I don't know how he did, but that's what happened.
I see you guys strategizing over here a little bit, and I saw you over here talking to the breakers. So what are you up to?
Well, you know, we're talking about the Brits. You know, we've both got Brits on the team, so we're just kind of talking things out and just seeing who got the best pick. And we said we did, and they said they did, and that's what. But we're friendly rivals.
Fair. So you're feeling confident?
Yeah, we've got a good mixture this year. I like our team. I think we've got a good blend of you know, some solid players, a couple of vets, and some young players coming up. So yeah, I think we're going to do well.
And how do you feel about losing Daria, as we just spoke about?
Well, we love Daria. But you know, we had Annalena last year, and she played so well. So it was one of those things. But we love Daria, and she's going to be she's a good team tennis player. She's going to be fired up when we play her. So I'm going to have to steam up her glasses because she wears glasses. So I'm going to do something to try and affect her game.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yes, exactly.
All right, looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Now, John Lloyd, my former teammate with the Los Angeles Strings, owned by Jeannie Buss, now president of the Los Angeles Lakers. So World Team Tennis has rich roots across the country and throughout so many tennis communities. But John Lloyd is, again, one of those guys who has a world of experience, Davis Cup, World Team Tennis. Great to have him as a coach and the ideas he has about your tennis game.
Oh, amazing to have someone like John Lloyd as your coach. He can bring so much. He has a wealth of experience, and he's got some great stories as well.
He's a raconteur along the lines of Jimmy Arias, capital R for both those guys. If you have a moment to spend some time with them. All right.
Sally Dewhurst from the Vegas Rollers. Washington has traded their pick to Vegas.
So for our pick right now, we would like to make sure that everyone has British accents that play in the World Team Tennis 2019 League and are picking Harriet Dart.
Yeah, so interesting pick there. Harriet Dart, number 5 pick here in the 3rd round. The Rollers filling out their lineup.
Another Brit as well. Very solid, not only on the singles court, but also on the doubles court, just outside the top 100 in singles. So very nice pick there from the Vegas Rollers.
Okay, another Brit in the lineup. So tell me about your pick here.
So she's just a very, very nice person. She's an amazing singles and doubles player. She's played doubles with Asia before. So we got a little backdoor information there, and very, very excited to have her and look forward to meeting her.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to watching. Thank you.
All right, here are the Springfield Lasers then on the clock. Last pick. Yeah, we moved past Philly on the list of drafting teams as their lineup is already full. So the Lasers, the defending champs, getting close to filling out their lineup as well.
Yeah, Philly took a lot of doubt out of their draft day by protecting 3 of their players that have done so well for them over the last few years. So it's the Lasers that are trying to add another component to their team.
All right, here's Carlos Silva making his way to the podium, our new CEO of World Team Tennis. So he's getting his first taste of draft day here in Indian Wells. Last minute conversation with Springfield Lasers coach John DeYonger.
Next up to the podium with the Springfield Lasers pick is their coach, J.L. DeYager.
Morning, everybody. Firstly, just want to welcome the new 2 teams franchise, 2 of my good friends, coaches. Great to have some great guys coaching those teams. In our last pick, the Springfield Lasers are happy to announce that we're taking from Russia, Anna Blinkova.
So Anna Blinkova, a Russian player of some skill. She's got a very bright future, young, but tremendous upside. Anna Blinkova.
This is a terrific pick. You talk about solid on the singles court as well as the doubles court. So very nice pick there for the Springfield Lasers.
All right. Carrie is with Coach DeJager.
Okay, so tell me about your pick.
Well, I mean, I've been part of this league for nearly 20 years, and I know the women are very key. I think, with Abby and Anna, we're going to have a very solid doubles team. And then obviously in the singles, Anna has been ranked in the top 100, and it's going to play a huge role for us. So the women play a massive role in World Team Tennis, and we are very positive and very happy with the 2 girls that we were able to select.
You are a very smart man. The women are key. Thanks so much. Looking forward to watching.
Thank you very much.
All right, here's a recap of the round 3 draft. Enrique Lopez Perez, Lasers, Johnny O'Mara. We've got a lot of British players here. Harriet Tart, Johnny O'Mara. Certainly some nice players, and obviously it reflects the international nature of World Team Tennis.
Yeah, a lot of terrific picks there. You can see good, solid doubles players as well as some great young talent as well on the singles court. When you look at Blinkova, Dart, so all of these teams starting to really round out their teams, looking for that final component in the 4th round.
Yeah, Daria Jurak there right in the center. She's going to be a nice addition for the Storm with her doubles experience. There's someone with plenty of experience in World Team Tennis on the left, Billie Jean King. Fred Luddy, San Diego Aviators on the right. Great to see Fred here again this year, and obviously plenty of support that Fred gives this league. All right, Vegas is rolling the dice. They're on the clock here in round 4. So some of the teams have already completed their drafting. The Vegas side still with a spot to fill.
Took Asia Muhammad with their first pick, and then took Jay Clark as well, the young Brit who's well equipped on the singles court as well as the doubles court. So interesting to know which direction they head now. They do have the Bryan brothers by way of trade. So doubles seems to be solidified, but that's probably only for a couple of matches. So they're probably looking for a male doubles player or possibly a singles player on the women's side. That would probably be my guess.
Yeah, let's see what the Rollers opt to do.
And this is an important part of the draft where you're trying to look for, do you go for the youthful kind of talented side, like possible potential, or do you go for the experience, somebody who can bring you that consistency night in, night out?
Yeah, because you get a veteran, okay, they can deal with the pressure. You get a young player, they can really be affected by it. They can really break down, and it's a decision you have to make. I guess it puts a little pressure on the coaches. Can I make this player more comfortable with the pressures that they're going to face, or do I just get a veteran who I know is going to be able to deal with what's coming at them?
Yeah, and that's hard because for a lot of these players, they maybe haven't played in a team environment before, like Davis Cup, for example. So you're kind of guessing in that department.
All right, let's go to Carrie.
Over here with the Orange County Breakers, how are you guys feeling about the draft today?
I like our team. We've got some of the top players in the league, the highest ranked players. If you look at all the brackets, we're in the top 3 in every category.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited with our team. There's a few players you'd want to get, but I'm really happy with who we got.
Okay, cool. So we've got the Vegas Rollers on the clock. How are you feeling about the new expansion teams?
We're very excited to add Vegas and Orlando to the league. I think it's really 2 great cities, 2 great new franchises, all these great people that are coming. It makes the really going to make this season really exceptional.
Okay, great. Well, and tell me one thing about Orange County that makes you guys unique.
Well, it's Newport Beach. We got the best weather in the world, and we have great fans. We sell out every match, and it's a lot of fun to play there.
Orange County isn't such a bad place. I agree. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
A great team there you can see from the Orange County Breakers, Eric Davidson and Rick Leach. And Davidson now an owner of the league and also chairman of the board. So this is a man who's having a wonderful influence not only on the team but on the league. And of course Rick Leach is one of the good guys in tennis. And so they've got a pretty strong leadership group there.
Yeah, and I think that's important. It starts with ownership, right? Eric Davidson and their team, they bought into World Team Tennis. They acquired the ownership of Mark Ein, who's the owner of the Washington Kastles. So they're fully in, and as you know, they got a title recently. Got somebody like Rick Leach at the helm on the coaching standpoint, so constantly getting good players. Really nice job there by the Orange County Breakers.
Yeah, that's the kind of stability you want when you have a team in a competitive environment like that. You want to pass that stability down to the players who want to feel comfortable and believe that they can do the things required to get a King Trophy, because it is not an easy road to go down.
I think that's important. You look at the Philadelphia Freedoms, right? They have 3 protected players that are coming back, and as you mentioned, it was similar for myself. I played a number of seasons. I only played for the Sacramento Capitals because of the relationship I built up, not only with the team and ownership, but also with the fans and the community, and that's really a special part of World Team Tennis.
Yeah, that's what really draft day is all about. You're planting the seeds that are hoping to come to fruition as we get into the season. All right, Vegas Rollers on the clock. Here's Carlos Silva.
Next to the stage from the Vegas Rollers, 1997 NCAA doubles champion, Tim Blankiron.
For our last pick in the draft, we had to get some Aussie flair, so we're going with Matt Reed.
Yeah, I think it was Matt Reed, I believe is what I heard. So that's, again, this is a guy who can play, and you need to have talent, and Matt's got it.
Yeah, he's played a lot of doubles with Nick Kyrgios, actually, and he's very accomplished on the doubles court, very talented player. So he'll bring a lot. He's got a good skill set that the coach there, Tim Blankiron, can really develop, and he also brings nice personality as well. So I think Matt Reed will function very well in World Team Tennis.
Carrie?
So some Aussie flair with
Yeah.
Matt Reed. What is he going to add to the team?
Well, I actually don't know Matt personally, but I've heard he's got a cannon of a serve, which is very important for World Team Tennis because it's so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And he's an Aussie, so it's a natural pick for us.
Who do you think is your biggest competition out there?
You know, I know most of the coaches, and to be honest with you, that's a fun part of this, is they take it very seriously, and I think it's going to be a very competitive league this year, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay, looking forward to seeing who that ends up being.
Yeah, Blankiron happy to have a little Aussie influence. And I think in Matt Reed they've got it. I mean, this is a guy, when I watch him alongside Kyrgios, he seems to be very solid and at times pretty magical on the court. I think he can do some big things for this team. Good draft. Good pick.
Definitely. He had an outstanding junior career, as you mentioned, very talented player. So he's the type of player, you know, in World Team Tennis, get him in the right environment, get the right energy around him, he can produce some real magic.
Yeah, don't want to get too distracted in Vegas, Matt. Be careful out there. I'm sure Blankiron will be making sure everyone's in bed at night, but Vegas, one of the 2 expansion teams, great to see them on board. Love the name the Rollers as well.
Oh, it's terrific, and I love their graphics as well. They did a terrific job, and so great to have Vegas back in the fold of tennis, bringing a World Team Tennis team to Vegas. Awesome to host the finals as well. It's going to be a special weekend.
Yeah, we had 6 teams last year, 8 teams now this year, and there are plans moving down the line that perhaps we can add a few more teams. We'll see how that goes.
With the final pick from the Orlando Storm, welcome back the coach of the Orlando Storm, Scott Lipsky.
Thanks, Carlos. With our last pick, the Orlando Storm will take Evan King.
Now, Evan King is a wonderful player. This is a guy who made some contributions last year, and his lefty game, this guy moves about as well as anyone on a tennis court. So this is a nice little contribution.
Extremely talented, played his college tennis at University of Michigan, really has a lot of skill, very athletic, big serve, moves around the court well, can also be a very important component in doubles as well.
Yeah, nice to have him on the team. Great chemistry as well. Let's go to Kerry.
How do you think this pick is going to add to the dynamic of the team overall?
Well, Evan, played college tennis. He's also done really well in doubles, as also with singles. So he'd be a great addition for us. He'll, we'll have a great team with him and Ken Skupski playing doubles. So it should be really good.
Okay, fantastic. And tell me one thing that you really think WTT is really unique for.
I think just the mix of having men and women on the same team and getting to play together and everything counts. You know, every point counts. It's super important. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it definitely is a lot of fun. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, Scott Lipsky talking about Evan King, and I like that pick. Left-handed, gets a lot of balls in play, defends well, and as you said, lots of talent, good serve.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a very nice team. I like the injection of youth there with Whitney Osogwe and also Evan King out of college, finding his mark on the ATP World Tour brings an exciting brand of tennis. I like the way Orlando Storm drafted today.
Yeah, nice to see these new teams making progress today and looking like there's some real encouraging signs. And here are the Kastles.
Still a lot of discussion going on down to the final pick.
Yeah, DC will have the final pick of the draft, so you enjoy these moments, but you certainly want to get them right. And Mark Ein in conference with Jimmy Arias.
Still a lot of great players out there.
Oh, and don't forget Charlie Ein, who's going to make the final decision, I think. The youngster was up at the microphone a little earlier, doing a great job.
I think Charlie just told Jimmy to sit down. I got this. Sit down, Jimmy. You're only number 4 in the world.
Yeah, Jimmy Arias, of course, and Murphy Jensen now sort of coaching in tandem for the Kastles. Mark Ein always seems to be wheeling and dealing, bringing in valuable additions to his team, whether it's players or coaches, and Arias seems to be one of those.
What a great add there with Jimmy Arias. Jimmy Arias loves the game. He's so in tune to the game, but as you mentioned, it starts with ownership. Mark Ein loves the game of tennis, a very good player in his own right, but he's also very close to the game year-round.
Yeah, okay, so we'll see what the Kastles decide. The clock is ticking here on the final pick of the 2019 World Team Tennis Draft. So glad you could be with us for this one. 8 teams this year, and it is so encouraging for all the teams. This is the big day where can the dreams become reality? Because getting to the King Trophy, you're talking about 3 weeks of travel, intense competition, and it's an arduous journey. You don't get the King Trophy by accident.
No, definitely. As you mentioned, there's a couple of weeks of playing together as a team, coming together. You have some nice wins. Sometimes you have some difficult losses. You've got to rebound quickly. There's a lot that goes into the season, and there's a huge emotional roller coaster throughout the season. So it's important to have the right teammates, the right coaches, the right ownership, and to allow yourself to be successful.
Yeah, and Mark actually knows what he's talking about. I know it seems remarkable. 3-time MVP of the league, obviously with one of the great franchises, the Sacramento Capitals, but the Washington Kastles have really been the eminent franchise of the last decade, and the strength again coming from the top down. Interesting, isn't it? The Caps and the Kastles both with 6 titles. Any of these years, I'm sure Mark Ein is saying we'd like to edge ahead of Sacramento in terms of that historic number.
Sure, he'd like to be in his own column.
All right, here's Carlos with our final pick.
With the final pick in the 2019 World Team Tennis Draft, I'd like to bring up the Washington Kastles team to make their final pick.
Before we make our pick, we'd just like to recognize the amazing job that Carlos and his team did today at the draft. I've been in this for 11. This is my 12th draft, and this is a completely different level. And so congratulations, and thank you, Carlos and Brian and Chris and Matt. And Matt Elephant deserves a real round of applause for working really hard. Let's hear it for Matt. You guys did an amazing job, and you set us all up to have an amazing 2019 season. So thank you guys. Yeah, thanks. So the last pick of the draft, we have a couple themes here. We have a twin, Murphy, and then we're going to take a Ukrainian, which would be our second Ukrainian. So Kevin is to leave to go find sponsors who like Ukrainians back in Washington to sponsor the team. He's already working the phones for that. And we're taking Lydia Kitchenok, 40 in the world, and we're in women's doubles, and we're really excited to have her and wish the best to all the teams this summer. Thanks.
Yeah, here's Lydia Kitchenok. So the final pick as we get through all 4 rounds of the draft. So the Kastles rounding out their roster. And a chance now to get to Carlos Silva at the podium. Carlos?
Thanks, everyone, for your patience today. It was a great 2019 draft. It's going to be a great 2019 season. So excited for all the teams, our new expansion teams as well. And I just want to take a moment to just say that really what makes World Team Tennis so great is the format. It's fun. It's exciting. Every point counts. Men and women competing on the same stage together to try and win a championship. It's what it's all about. And everyone should just give themselves a round of applause for all the teams and all the hard work you did to get here. It's going to be a great 2019 season. Also like to congratulate the Springfield Lasers. They will be defending the King Trophy that's right here. And we'll see who's going to hold the King Trophy on August 3rd in Las Vegas on CBS Sports Network. I hope you all are there. Good luck to everybody, and thank you again for giving me this opportunity. Have a great day.
Yeah, that's our new CEO. That's Carlos Silva, who's wrapping things up here from the 2019 World Team Tennis Draft. Leif Scharis alongside Mark Knowles. Glad that you could be with us. And just to echo what Mark Ein was saying, it's great to have Carlos Silva aboard, bringing his new energy as a CEO, and obviously bringing aboard CBS, which is obviously a huge step for this league, and also some of the other ideas he has that are just starting to sort of get started and get going.
Well, World Team Tennis is such an exciting format, but you really feel the renewed energy, and to have CBS on board as well, terrific for World Team Tennis.
Yeah, we've got a full slate of matches starting in early July, running through early August. Remember, August 2nd and 3rd, the championship weekend in Vegas. So very much an exciting season. We look forward to it. Any picks, Mark, that stand out to you over the course of today? I mean, Orange County added Nicole Gibbs. She's a former MVP. I was trying to remember her name earlier, and I'd forgotten that. But in the Storm and the Rollers, two expansion teams, seems like they've got some pretty good lineups as well. Asia Muhammad will be playing for the Rollers, so it seems like some exciting times for the league.
Yeah, I like the Storm as well. You know, going with the youngster with Whitney Osogwe, I think that's a very nice pick. Bringing her into the fold, learning how to deal with the pressures of World Team Tennis. It's going to be interesting for her, which I think will pay a lot of dividends for her along the road on the WTA Tour as well. So a lot of great picks. Had the experience of Bruno Suarez getting in there, a guy who's won a numerous amount of Grand Slams, number 5 in the world. So we saw a little bit of everything, which we always do in World Team Tennis. We saw the British invasion, a lot of Brits as well. So I think overall it was a terrific draft, and I'm looking forward to a great season.
All right, for one last time, we'll throw it down to Kerry, who's with Carlos Silva.
How are you feeling going into 2019?
That was great. It's really great. I mean, there's a lot of hard work to get here today. I think all the teams did a great job, and it felt good in the room.
This was a really fun vibe today. You could see the rivalries, you could see, the friendly competition, and some really, really great players also.
Yeah, absolutely, and a couple of trades. That last night there was a little bit of drama. There was a lot of phone calls and things moving around, and even this morning, even when we thought we knew what was going to happen, there were a couple of other moves and trades. Pretty cool to have the Bryant brothers in Vegas since they're from Vegas. And that's going to be a great show. That's on CBS, on big CBS broadcast on Sunday, July 21st. So the season's looking great.
Absolutely. Talk a little bit more about that partnership with CBS. That's going to be great for the exposure for World Team Tennis and everything. That's so exciting. Yeah, it really is. I mean, to be on CBS Sports Network 15 times, but then also to be on CBS broadcast is it's great for World Team Tennis to have that kind of exposure. CBS has been a great partner, really going to get behind it, and we're going to show even a bigger audience how great this format is and why it's so much fun. Great. Well, we are really looking forward to 2019. It's already looking like it's going to be an incredible year.
Yeah, thanks so much. It's going to be great.
Thanks, Carlos.
All right, thanks very much. Yeah, an exciting season ahead of us, and great to have Carlos Silva aboard. I mean, gotta love a BC guy. I mean, my son is a Golden Eagle, so great to have Carlos aboard. He played college tennis at BC, and now he's the new CEO of World Team Tennis. Mark, some last thoughts on the draft?
Well, I think it was a terrific draft. It started right at the top with the New York Empire getting somebody like Kristen Flipkins, a terrific player. So we saw it all the way down the draft. We saw some youthful injections as well, and I think it's going to be a terrific season with the 2 new expansion franchises. Excellent stuff. It's going to be a fantastic season. Can't wait for it.
Yeah, when you think the Springfield Lasers winning their first trophy last year, they'll be defending champions. The Washington Kastles, who have won 6 titles, they'd like to get back in the winner's circle, so no doubt that's going to make for some competitive moments. And the Philadelphia Freedoms, Billie Jean King and Lana Klaus would like to get another King trophy. It's her namesake trophy.
Yeah, she's got to get that trophy, right?
All right, here's a chance just to recap the draft. Kirsten Flipkins, Nicole Gibbs, we mentioned her, the former MVP. Christian Harrison, that's Ryan's brother. Bruno Suarez is back with the Kastles. Whitney Osigwe with the Storm. Yoshihito Nishioka, nice addition, the Japanese player to the Kastles. Adrian Menendez-Macieres.
Yeah, in round 2, we saw some great doubles players. Ken Skupski from Britain, Luke Bambridge, James Ward has done some terrific stuff on the Davis Cup level against the United States. For Britain, Asia Muhammad, the first pick in Vegas Rollers history. Ulysses Blanche, the youngster, will be for the Empire, so a lot of solid picks in round 2 as well.
Here's a look at round 3. Lasers with Enrique Lopez Perez, Johnny O'Mara, another Brit. Daria Jurak, she's with the Storm this year. Harriet Dart, man, it's another Brit playing for the Rollers. And Blinkova, who's a very strong player, the Russian, playing for the Lasers.
And you can see round 4, Matt Reed, very talented player, rounds out the picks for the Vegas Rollers. Evan King, excellent player, very talented. And the Kastles rounded out with Kitchenok as their final pick.
Yeah. Very interesting draft. I hope you enjoyed it. We certainly did, because of all the characters involved and the players involved, the ownership setting the standard. And Mark, thanks for being a part of it.
Thank you, Leif.
I know you want to get your racket and play, but you can't do that anymore. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. The 2019 World Team Tennis season is going to kick off in July. And remember, the championship weekend, August 2nd and 3rd in Vegas, should be a good one, as the Rollers and the Storm, the Orlando Storm, a part of this 2019 season. So 8 teams are a part of it. Hope that you can be a part of it as well. The World Team Tennis Draft. So long, everybody.